can't get my camera to sit right, but I think I got it. This video is my wrap up of everything I've read so far this year. Yes, I did one in January, kind of half-assed, whatever. We're going over everything because I'm moving in 29 days. It's past midnight, so it's officially April 9th. My birthday was 3 days ago, so I will have a birthday haul video coming. Waiting for everything to be shipped. I think everything should actually be here technically today as of April 9th, once it's, not the middle of the night, but anyways. So I can start packing. It actually would have been 30 days away from today because me and my roommate were originally told May 9th is move-in day. But then we had a mini panic because of us looking at her. She read the lease and it said June 1st, but it's technically because we don't have to pay rent till June 1st because everything's covered for May. And then she's like, oh no, because she's in college and she lives student housing, so she'd either have to move everything into her boyfriend's place or back up to her parents until we moved in. And then she double checked and it's like, no, our move-in date's between the 8th and the 15th. So, we're good there. My cat's being a gremlin. Anyways, so I'm going to go through everything I read, and I also grabbed my reading journal so that I could remember what audiobooks I've also finished. Because then otherwise my main focus is reading what I can until I move. Which I'll maybe just make that a vlog, and then I'll just do my next reading wrap up within the next few months after I've moved and I'm settled and all that stuff. But anyways, so what did I start? None of these are in order. That's also kind of what I have going on here. Oh, I know why. Because the first thing I read this year was volume 24 of Jujutsu Kaisen. That's still on the shelf. So this was the first thing I read of 2025. So then I'm just gonna set it right back on top. I gotta pack it anyway, so I guess I shouldn't care anymore where everything goes. That is another thing I read. The other books I've read this year were Lore Olympus, Volume 7. I don't want to go grab it because that's kind of buried in a corner right now. Let me see. Okay. Okay. So then from there, okay. We'll just go through Chainsaw Man. Ow. What's in my hand is volumes 4 through 10. And then, my stack's uneven. And then 11 through 17. I read all these, I think, between January and February. And in between those, I read The Shadow Cabinet by Judo Dawson. I finally finished that. That I can see. Ow! Oh, I'm gonna drop something. I dropped it. It's okay. Shadow Cabinet. part of the Her Majesty's Royal Coven series. I will take that off the shelf and put that in the box. Whew. It was a struggle. Oh yeah. Then my corner's bent. Wrong book. I also read Queen Bee. So I completed this trilogy. There is a 4th book coming out at some point. I don't remember when. My tablet's buried in a pile, so I can't check. And then I read Wayward by Amelia Hart. I was trying to be more in my witchy era at that time. Oh yeah, maybe if I give my ratings too, that might help y'all. I'm sorry, I'm scatterbrained. And I have a dry throat. So I gave Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 24 5 stars. I gave Lore Olympus Volume 7 5 stars. Chainsaw Man Volume 6 had 5 stars. Oh, you know, because I think a few of those Chainsaw Man volumes I technically read in December. I just have really bad memory sometimes. But yeah, either way, they were read. Okay, Volume 7 was 5 stars, I guess. Volume 8 was 3. Volume 9 was 5. The Shadow Cabinet was 4 stars. Chainsaw Man Volume 10 was 3 stars. I gave Chainsaw Man Volume 11 3.5 stars. Volume 12 was 5 stars. Wayward I gave 4 stars. Chainsaw Man Volume 13 I gave 4 stars. Volume 14 of Chainsaw Man I gave 3.5 stars. Chainsaw Man 15 I gave 4 stars. Okay. This one was an audiobook. I read The Coven by Harper L. Woods. I listened to it on audiobook and I owned the physical copy. The duology. I don't know if there's any more coming out. So it was The Coven and the Cursed. I have sold them since. I gave it half a star. Excuse me. I gave it half a star because I didn't like it. The story started good. It was like, yeah, there's a witch and a witch hunter. And we're gonna be A-okay. And yeah, I was like, do. I was like, cool, this will be great. I can't stop coughing. And then it was just very explicit, gross, really, really, really gross smut scenes. What felt like every couple of chapters, or yeah, like every other chapter, every few. I got so sick of it. So sick of it. So that was one audiobook I listened to so far this year. If I can get these pages to not stick together. It's probably the glue. It is. Okay. Chainsaw Man Volume 16 was 3.5 stars. Killer Cults. I gave it 5 stars. Now that it's been a while since I've read it. I would probably give it at least a 4. Maybe even a 3.5. I don't know, it was just a lot of mention of sex because they're cults, but like also I get it. I like cults are interesting, so yeah, whatever. Queen Bee I rated 5 stars. Okay. Parasite Volume 4, which I read. I sold it on my Pango. So it's been gone, but I rated it 5 stars. Another audiobook I listened to was I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I also gave that 5 stars. It was a very good read. I I would just say, if you're ready to see what was going on behind the scenes of some of your childhood TV shows, I'd recommend reading that. And then another audiobook I listened to was Masquerade by O.O. Sangoyomi. I listened to it on audiobook. That one was really good. I don't remember a lot of it now. It was, because Goodreads has the challenges for, like, every month or whatever. So, yeah. I don't know, I found it interesting. Very action-packed and chaotic and, everything I would normally read. And then, Chainsaw Man Volume 17, the final volume, that up to date, at least, I rated it 3 stars. Whoops. Next, I have No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. I rated it 5 stars. And it took me over a month to finish, apparently. It is short, and I'm also just me, and lately I've just been weird with reading. So it was really good. I did annotate it a little bit. It's a strange book that I can't really explain, but it is an interesting read. Okay, next audiobook was In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado. I know it was kind of a popular book for a while, and like everyone's read it, but this was my first time reading it, and it was one of those things. I did rate it 5 stars. There was a lot of sex talk, which made me uncomfortable, but it was still a pretty good book because it wasn't that bad. Okay, and then I read the Book of Azrael. I did it both audio and physical, because I started it on audio just so I could start it and read it. But I ran out of listening hours, because sometimes I listen to my audiobooks on Spotify, and sometimes I listen to my audiobooks on Libby while I was listening to it on Spotify, and I ran out of listening hours. And I couldn't find the audiobook on Libby, or maybe it just wasn't available. So I just finished it physically, because I was like, whatever. I have it physical. I'll just figure out where I left off and take it from there. And then I finally read and finished Legends and Lattes. I will probably eventually read the sequel. I thought I would have found it actually when I went birthday shopping, because there how some bookstores have, like Barnes & Noble does it, for I guess more of a common bookstore does it, where there's like a little recommendation card. And there was one for Books and Bone Dust, or no, it was for Legends and Lattes. And then I was like, oh, well, if they have Legends and Lattes, they should have Books and Bone Dust. They didn't. So, we'll eventually read Books and Bone Dust somehow, somewhere. And if you're wondering, okay, yeah, 5 stars. I rated Legends and Lattes. I did enjoy it quite a good bit. And then I guess after that I finished My Hero Academia Volume 36, which I rated 5 stars. And then Volume 37, which I gave 4 stars. Do I remember what happened? No. I know the fight with Dobby finally happened. I'm tired. I can't get names straight right now. Okay, sorry. I kind of preset my journal or whatever. So then, the last 2 books I've read were Volume 25 of Jujutsu Kaisen, which that was over here, because it's also going to be part of my birthday haul video, because I just got it for my birthday. I gave it 5 stars, of course. And upon reading this, I will now know what's gonna happen in the next volume when it comes out next month. I won't spoil it, of course, because if you know, you know. And then finally, the last thing I have finished was Volume 1 of Monsters We Make, which is Corey Kenshin's manga. I rated it a 3-star. It was action packed, but at the same time, kind of average. It gives me My Hero Academia vibes. And probably as I've talked about, I've kind of died out from the My Hero fandom. So yeah. So in total, I believe I'm at 31, 32 books read. I don't know. Yeah, 30 some books read this year so far. A lot more on my TBR, but I'm moving. I'm broke. I will be reading a lot more of my physical TBR, and if it's not on my TBR, then it's audio or library. The only reason why I broke my book bed now is because it was my birthday and I had to spend my birthday coupons. I'm 22, by the way. For anyone who is actually wondering how old I am, I'm 22. So yeah, that's my video. Hope you enjoy. Hopefully I get a couple more videos finished before I move. So yeah, see you soon. Bye!